Hello everyone, and welcome to the webinar that I believe helps you to make better decisions about your future career. We're still waiting for some people to join, so I think I'll start because time is money, and we have to be precise on time. So my name is Laurinas. I am a career counselor. I work in Lithuania, in Kādi in Lithuania. And today, I think I am the first one in Kalba webinar cycle in Latvia. So I strongly recommend you to follow the news on kalba.lv portal, where you can find the information about upcoming webinars. As I know, we have a webinar each week at the same day. So it's always Wednesdays, so make sure to attend as many of those as possible because they're extremely beneficial for your future career. Today we will spend, I would say, about half an hour speaking about our future career. You can always write me some questions in public chat function. You can see on your screens, I think somewhere on the right. So if you have any questions, you can always write those questions there, and time to time I'll just simply check this chat and try to answer all of those if you have any. And I think that's probably it at the beginning. So it's not so many of us today. I saw that there was more registrations than we have currently joined people, but maybe some of your colleagues will join us later. So I want to start my presentation on my webinar with some kind of question of what do people work all day? It's a question I always ask in my presentations, in my real presentations, not in the webinars actually, but I just want you to think a bit about your future careers, and when you think of something that you're feeling like interested in, or you are maybe thinking of one or another possible career, so try to think what those people do all day. It's quite hard to answer this question because we do have some kind of understanding what does different workers does all day. For example, if we are thinking about, I don't know, an accountant, we know that this person works a lot of with numbers, with Excel and some other programs. That person probably does not have a lot of human interpersonal interaction, and that's pretty much it. When we are thinking about, I don't know, a firefighter, so we know that this is the man that helps us and our society to kill the fire and rescue some people from some unpleasant situations. So we have this different stereotypes, different approaches, and different understandings of what people do all day in their work. But when we are thinking about our career, and when we are trying to reach the consensus and to find the best career that matches us, we have to always check what does the people do in our selected career or selected profession. Because when we are just having some kind of clue what are those people doing, we are simply selecting the career by labels. Because as I've told you before, we have labels for everything. If I name accountant, for example, as I told you earlier, you have some kind of label. If I'm saying a marketing specialist, you already have some kind of label. What are those people doing? If I say, I don't know, a sales manager, you also have some kind of label. And we have a lot of labels for, I would say, every career and every profession. But we have to dig way deeper into this profession if we want to select this particular one and and to say that this is the right path for us. So in order to do so, I want you to understand one big and one important thing or sentence, I would say, that career choice is a process. Sometimes people tend to believe that they can select or choose their career or professional life just in one meeting, in one session with career counselor, or just they simply type in Google, I don't know, best professions, best specialities for me, or etc., or do some kind of career test and that's it. So no, career choice is a process. I would say it requires, let's say, 100 hours. It's approximate number that if you will spend 100 hours on your career choice, I would say your career choice would be way better than your friends, your relatives, and your classmates. And what do you have to do in that process? There are 3 steps, and this right choice, I would say, is a result of self-working, knowledge of professions, and practice and practical understanding of those professions, what people are doing in their jobs, in their professional life. So we'll speak of each of those subjects, self-working, knowledge of professions, and practice later. So speaking about self-working, I know it could sound a bit boring, but it's the crucial thing and it's the most important part, that you would know yourself as much as possible. Because if I would just simply ask you to name, I don't know, 5 things about you, you could do that easily. You can name that, I don't know, I like to sleep, I love pizza, I love movies, and etc. But it's not really important when we are thinking about your future career. But if I would say, name your top 5, I don't know, strengths and top 5 weaknesses, it would be a little bit harder thing for you to do. So that's why you need to know as much as possible about yourself. I've listed a lot of questions there. For example, who am I? What can I do better than others? What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? What are my hobbies? Every single question is really important for you to answer, for you to understand, and because those questions leads to the better selection of your future career. For example, what can you do better than others? For example, I don't know. Let's say you're in school and you can do maths really good, and some of your classmates are pretty bad at maths. So what could be the possible career solution for you? Of course, you can do and you can think of something related to mathematics, to the numbers. It could be accounting, it could be programming, it could be, I don't know, engineering, and etc. What are your, for example, hobbies? If you like to, I don't know, sing a lot, maybe you sing a lot, you write your songs, you create music, and etc. This also could be a sign that is related to your future career, to your future profession. Also, I've listed the question: what intelligences and natures do I have? In Kalba, we are working with intelligences and natures. We have a special test that helps you to understand what intelligences and natures are. And the mix of 10 intelligences and 9 natures creates a unique path where you can find possible careers, possible professions that suits your potential in a very best way. So I do recommend you to check it on kalba.lb. Also, it's a really important question: where do I spend the most of my time? Because I would say every of you has at least one activity, or I would say a few activities, where you simply cannot spend, I don't know, 5 hours a day, 3 hours a day, and you do not, you get lost of time because you think that, oh, I only spent 20 minutes, but you look at the clock and it's already 3 hours or something passed. So those things are also really important. What do I do in my spare time? So it's kind of related to what are my hobbies and etc. You have to get a lot of information about yourself, and I would recommend you to make notes because it's pretty hard just to sit by the table and answer those questions in one time. So when you'll see something interesting about you, maybe you're doing something really good, maybe you find a new strength or weakness of yours, just simply make a list. I recommend you to do that on your phone and list everything you think is important for your possible and for your future career choice. So the very first thing from this career process is the selection and understanding of yourself, self-knowing, and answering all those questions. Of course, they are not. It's not It's not all questions that you could raise, because there could be really different ones, but they are just a few that I've listed. So you can think of any others as well. After you're doing that, then you'll move to the second part. And here I have a photo of a menu, of coffee bar menu, coffee shop menu. And I just wanted to make some notes about it, because every of you has some kind of intuition what drinks you can buy in a coffee shop. Yeah, there will be a black coffee, there will be a white coffee, there will be, I don't know, black, green, or fruit tea, and etc. But when you look at the menu at that coffee shop, you always find something new, something you cannot think of and you're not aware of. The same situation is with the careers, because when we are thinking about the careers, everybody knows at least some. Some of you knows 20, some of you knows 40, some of you knows 50 or something, but it's definitely not all the possible choices. And sometimes it happens that out of those 20, 30, or 40 or something that you know, there could be a situation where none of those fits your abilities, fits your interests, fits your strengths and weaknesses, and etc., and simply fits your potential in the very best way. So that's why you need to know as many as possible. And I do recommend you, and I just wanted to raise a question for you to think of, because, sorry, somebody's, okay. So think and try to guess how many specialities exist. I do encourage you to write me your guesses in a public chat, because as I said, some of you know 20, some of you know 40, 50 or something, but just simply try to guess how many of those exists. Waiting for your answers in the public chat. At least one. I just want to check, and I just want to know what you're thinking. Okay, you're really shy. Nobody's writing your. Okay, 1,000. Amazing, really good. It's nearby. Actually, we are counting approximately 600 of different specialities in the whole world, not in Latvia or Lithuania or wherever, but in the whole world, in the whole education system, we're counting about 600 specialities. But those 600 are those, I would say, broader ones, where we count teachers as one profession, but we can simply divide one teacher profession into, I don't know, chemistry teacher, biology teacher, maths teacher, languages teachers, and etc. And we can have way more of those specialities, and those 600 can reach the number up to 50,000 smaller, some specific, really specific one specialities. And if you know 20 or even 50, you know a really tiny bit of all the possible choices you can make. But if you would spend a lot of time on Googling information about all of those, I've just tried to calculate a few months ago, how many time you would spend on that. So if you would spend 20 minutes on each of 50,000 specialities, you will have to spend 6 years spending 8 hours a day every single day for 6 years just to simply read something about those specialities. So I think that all of you don't have that much time on that. So that's why it's important to firstly get to know yourself way better, to find something important and something interesting about you, and then go to read something about possible specialities, because it is not important to know everything about every single specialty. For example, if you know about yourself that you're extreme extrovert, for example, like me, I would say I'm really an extroverted person. Do jobs such as, I don't know, an accountant, a sewer, or whatever, I don't know, a pilot or something, would those specialities fit my potential in the very best way? I would say no. And if you are, I don't know, extreme extrovert, for example, a job related to, I don't know, customer service, events management, or etc., would be also not the very best solution for you. And as I and my colleagues are saying in Kalba, you have to find your slice of pizza from this whole huge pizza. For example, if you are with your friends, you order a huge pizza. Everybody has some kind of different interests. Some of your friends wanted a slice with more cheese. Some of your friends want slice with more meat. Somebody with more sauce, and etc. So you have to find that slice that suits your abilities and fulfills your potential in the very best way. And after you're doing that, it's extremely important that you would practice. And by practice, I mean trying different hats, trying different ways, because after you know yourself, after you know the possible ways, the possible professions, you can still be in a situation where when you're thinking about, I don't know, 2 or 3 or 5 or something ways, what can you do with your life? Where can you study? Where can you work? What could be your career pattern, etc. So you do have ability to try those professions, somewhat similar as the students in universities have this practice thing. So you can have somewhat similar when you're still in school. It's pretty easy thing if you're, I don't know, thinking about, I would say, marketing, for example. You just have to write the letters for 3 or 5 or something marketing agencies, where you simply, in a very simple way, just saying that I'm a student at this and this school and that class. I'm really interested in marketing. I'm thinking about studying something related to marketing, but I'm still not sure if it is the best way for me, if it's the best path for me. So I just want to clarify, and I just want to see how work in your company actually goes. And out of those 3 or 5 letters, I would say at least one company will always write you, okay, it's nice, you can always come by, and you will simply arrange a date when you visit that company, when you have a possibility to take a look at different marketing specialities and to find maybe the best one for you. Or you will see that you actually hate that job. It looked nice when you read about it, when you watched some clips or something, but when you saw how this work really happens in real life, you might be not interested in that anymore. And that happens really often, I would say. And it's important for you to start thinking about your career as early as possible, because you will have more time on knowing yourself and more time on giving a look at the possible professions, and then you'll have more time on trying different career paths. Of course, this trying when you're writing a letter is not the only way. you can always join, for example, some webinars that are happening right now in, I would say, all the world, where some kind of professionals presenting their job, what they are doing. And I think we'll have some of those in Kalba webinar cycle in Latvia. So just simply, I recommend you to check Kalba LV, because I saw that we have some kind of students from universities that will explain what they are doing, what are their study programs, what they are doing after studies. Some of them are already finished their studies and started jobs. So I think it will be interesting and really beneficial. You don't have to try it in the real life. You can always do some kind of online trying and online activities. Also, some kind of career days at your parents' work, some kind of career days at your school also would be beneficial. What else? Volunteering, some kind of volunteering activities as well, because you are able to try some kind of project manager, events manager, and some of those specialities and professions as well. Yeah, I see we do have. Oh, yeah. So my colleague Marks just sent you a link where you can find an information about our webinars that are upcoming, and that's pretty much it from me. So I said we will spend a half an hour. I saw that we only needed 25 minutes, so I'm waiting for your questions. As I've said, you can type whatever you are thinking of in public chat, and I'll try to answer those. So I'll stay here for a few more minutes. And if you have any questions for me personally, you can always write me a letter. This is laurinas.p at kalba.lt, not lv, because I work in Lithuania. You can always write me a letter, and I'll try to answer all your questions if you'll have any. So I hope you enjoyed this short webinar, and I hope you get some really interesting information. And thank you for joining this webinar today. So I'm waiting for your questions if you'll have any, and if not, so have a really nice evening today. Bye.